So good to have you join us in this edition of Business Daily. Coming to you live from Seoul, I'm Lee Ji-yoon. We have a lot on our plate this morning, so let's get started with today's highlights. Ever heard about the cool biz look? It's what's in these days as more companies here in Korea are encouraging their employees to go shorter on the hemlines to save energy. More Koreans are enjoying imported fruits like mangoes and cherries, once considered a tad bit too pricey to eat regularly, but they now come with a more affordable price tag. But first, let's get a check of today's top business stories. The International Monetary Fund cut its growth forecast for the global economy this year by 0.2 percentage points to 3.3%. In its latest World Economic Outlook released on Thursday, the IMF said that the U.S. economy's weaker than expected first quarter performance was the main reason for its trimmed outlook. The IMF also warned that prolonged effects from Greece's debt crisis and extreme volatility in Chinese markets could further drag down growth. The agency says the fallout from Greece is hard to predict and that recent developments are likely to take a much heavier toll on recovery in the Eurozone. And on that note, Athens has met its deadline and submitted a plan of economic reforms to its European creditors, raising hopes that perhaps Greece can stave off a collapse of its banking system and a push out of the Eurozone. Though not much is known about the proposals, reports say that it includes billions of dollars worth of public spending cuts, tax increases, and changes in pension. Greenlit by Greece's cabinet members, the reform package will now be reviewed by the country's parliament come Friday and EU leaders at Sunday's summit. Korea's import and export prices have climbed for the second consecutive month on the back of a stronger dollar against the local currency in June. The Bank of Korea said June's import price index went up 0.6% on month despite the drop in oil prices. The won slid by roughly 2% against the greenback in June compared to the month before, offsetting the drop in Dubai crude prices that ticked down 3.5%. The country's export price index increased as well, up 1.2% from May. Korea is gearing up to launch a new index of 30 blue-chip companies that represent the country's economic structure. The KTOP 30, as it's called, aims to better reflect Korea's economy. But some are questioning if this new index will indeed be able to carry out that goal. Here's our Kim Min-ji with more.
The KTOP 30 index, modeled after the U.S. Dow Jones Industrial Average, will launch next week. It will consist of 30 major companies chosen based on their market capitalization, such as Samsung Electronics, Hyundai Motor, and SK Hynix, as well as financial groups and IT companies.
It's our hope that the KTOP 30 index will become a leading index that can help invigorate the Korean economy.
The launch comes amid calls for the local stock market to better reflect the country's economic growth. Since 1980, Korea's GDP has grown 36-fold, while the main Kospi index has only risen 19-fold. The KTOP 30 will only include companies with shares priced at less than 500,000 won, or roughly $440 in order to promote active trading. Samsung Electronics, whose share price is well over $1,000, will be subject to adjustment.
We have decided to bring on Samsung Electronics. However, we will apply an adjustment calculation of 0.5 to its share price to limit its position when generating the index.
The next question is how effective the new index will actually be. In addition to the benchmark Kospi, the local bourse operator runs over 130 sub-indices, including the Kospi 200. But these smaller indices have existed more or less in name only, as they are less popular among investors because they don't reflect real market conditions.
We need confirmation that the new index can guarantee stable returns. Instead of seeking immediate recognition, it would be better to think of its development in the long term.
The index's fate will now depend on how many financial products related to it are created and how fast they are sold. Kim Min-ji, Business Daily.
We've seen a surge in demand for imported fruits in recent years, and it's not hard to find all types of foreign fruits down the aisles of Korean supermarkets. Some of them, once considered too expensive to eat regularly, have now become much more affordable. And our Arirang takes a look at some of Korea's favorites.
First you shave, then you peel, and voila! You have your mango bingsu, a highly popular shaved ice dessert in Korea. Instead of pop bingsu, the traditional option with red bean paste, more Koreans are now in love with fruit-topped desserts.
I think it's more flavorful than original bingsu. It's better because I can really taste the fruit.
And now with more Koreans going after healthier dessert choices, it has partially led to an increase of imported fruits, especially mangoes and cherries.
Mangoes are delicious and sweet. Cherries are also one of my favorites.
According to Korea Customs Service, the total value of the 6 most popular fruits imported stood at $778 million last year, jumping over 20% from 2013. Those fruits are mangoes, bananas, grapefruits, cherries, pineapples, and grapes. Out of all fruits, the import of mango saw the highest annual surge, tripling from $13 million in 2012 to $43 million last year. The Customs Office says Korea's free trade deals with other countries such as the U.S. have contributed to more affordable prices, and the country's insatiable appetite for a wider selection of fruit year-round is also bringing in more imports. Lee Ju-young, Business Daily.
As the thermostat continues its climb, hemlines are also moving up. And we're not talking about just the ladies. And our Eunice Kim joins us with a look at this season's Cool Biz Look. Hello there, Eunice.
Good morning to you. And that's right, the Cool Biz Look is very much in effect in the hallways of Korea's businesses. And what started out as an energy-saving campaign in the mid-2000s has since come a long way, from short-sleeve shirts to no ties and now to shorts. Take a look.
Early morning. People are trickling into work. Among the sea of pants are shorts, matched with bright-colored jackets. You'd be hard-pressed to find someone in a tie here, even though it is the quintessential business wear. Strict dress codes are being relaxed this summer as indoor thermostats are raised by a few degrees to save on energy costs.
With the hotter weather, we've implemented Cool Biz at the company. Staff satisfaction is higher and so is their work efficiency.
Samsung Electronics, Hyundai Motor, Korean Air, and Hanwha are just a handful of companies that are implementing Cool Biz. And at some workplaces, including Seoul City Hall and SK Group, donning shorts is encouraged. While not everyone is embracing the expose your knee look, and some say it is still awkward, people brave enough to try concede it helps them focus on their work.
Since clothes are shorter, thinner, and ventilate better than suits, you're more comfortable and cool even without the air conditioning switched to high.
From shorts to khakis to linens, pared-down business wear has taken center stage at department stores.
As more workplaces are pushing for Cool Biz styles, in line with the demand, we're expanding our styles and colors too.
Domestic brand Komodo Square reports a 30% rise in on-year short sales, while U.S. retailer Banana Republic says it's already sold 70% of its 5 out of 11 short styles that haven't yet sold out.
Well, Eunice, what's there not to like when you dress up in shorts like that, right?
Right.
All right, but I want to know, does this really help save energy?
Well, that's a great question. Certainly the lighter clothing is being welcomed by a lot of office workers, but how does this stack up against energy savings? And there actually have been tests done on this. And the general understanding that if you keep the ties off, your actual body temperature does fall by a couple degrees, shorts by 4 degrees.
Wow.
And raising the thermostat on your air conditioner by 2 degrees is said to cut your energy output by 14%. Now, for large companies, that's an energy savings of 700 kilowatts per hour, or roughly double the amount of power a 4-person household would use in a month.
Wow, that's a lot of energy and a lot of money saved as well.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And we can't forget the electricity shortage that we had a couple months ago, or a couple summers ago. How does the power outlook look for this year?
Well, the good news is that the government is not expecting any rolling blackouts or power shortages this year, although we could be looking at a record-setting warm summer once again with the effect of the El Nino. Now, Korea's energy ministry said last week that it is expecting the country's peak spot demand to reach 80.9 million kilowatts. That's a 6.4% increase from last year. And that should be well covered by Korea's generation capacity of more than 88 million kilowatts, plus its power reserve, which will be kept at 7 million kilowatts.
Well, that doesn't mean, though, that you can go ahead and just waste energy, right?
Oh, absolutely. Not everybody will be asked to pitch in by keeping their indoor temperatures at 26 degrees Celsius, of course, and 28 degrees for public institutions. Shops will still be required to operate with their doors closed so that they're not wasting energy with the blasting air conditioning, of course. Otherwise, they could face a fine of up to $2,600.
That's quite a bit of fine. And actually, I'm hoping to see more of us wearing that cool biz look in the office.
Right, ditching the jackets, perhaps.
Yes. All right, thank you so much for coming in today, Eunice.
You bet.
All right, that's all I have for you this morning. Hope we were able to walk you through the week with news that mattered to you. Thanks for watching, and have a great weekend, everyone.